anti-cop Minnesota Democratic Party official left bloodied in violent carjacking. Now she goes from let's defund the police to now we need tougher crimes and more police. You can't make this hypocrisy up. All right, so let's start with the local news report about what happened. Check it out.
A progressive party leader says she was violently carjacked at her home right in front of her young children. Shivanthi Shathanadhan posted this image of her bloody face. She says she suffered a broken leg and cuts and bruises after 4 young men held her up at her North Minneapolis home. She is the second vice chair of the state DFL party. On Facebook, she said law enforcement needs to, quote, catch these young people who are running wild, creating chaos across our city, and hold them in custody and prosecute them, period. Police recovered her stolen car, but no word on any arrests.
So this anti-cop Democratic Party leader who was screaming, defund the police, she's now on our side. You know what they say? It says Democratic policies need conservative solutions. Because that's exactly what's going on here. These Democratic policies of defund and abolish the police need these conservative solutions. So check this out. Let's first go to her Facebook post, because I think her Facebook post is important for this story. So this is what she posted on Facebook. We are going to dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department. Say it with me. Dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department, right? We don't want no police. Right? As allies, what can we do right now? Listen, learn from our black siblings, and then amplify this message right now. In this moment, MPD has systematically failed the black community. They have failed all of us. It's time to build a new infrastructure that works for all communities. If you are still disagreeing with the basic facts, I'm not on Facebook, so I'm not going to read it all, but you get the picture, right? You get the picture. She's saying, dismantle the police. We don't need police. We don't need them. We don't need them. Until you get violently carjacked, and then it's a different tune. So now you know what happened to her. Let's read the article. I'm not going to chop up her name. I'm going to call her Double S, because what is her name? Shivanshi T or whatever. I'm just going to call her SS. So, a Minnesota Democratic Farmer Labor Party official who once vowed to dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department is now calling for tougher crime laws. So now we're on tough on crime now. Before it was, we don't need police. Now it's like, we need to lock these people up for even longer. After she was beaten and bloodied in a carjacking outside her home this week. Shivanthi, whatever, the second vice chairwoman for the DFL, shared news of her attack in a Wednesday Facebook post where she fumed that the 4 young scholars, because I like black conservative perspectives, he calls them scholars, 4 young scholars needed to be brought to justice. Lock them up, lock them up, lock them up. I have a broken leg, deep lacerations to my head, bruise cuts all over my body, and I have rage, she wrote. Rage. She's enraged. Who said the beating occurred in front of her 4-year-old daughter, 7-year-old son around 7:45 in the evening on that Tuesday. Wow. These men knew what they were doing. I have no doubt they have done this before. They're criminals, huh? So it sounds like she needs police. Yet they are still on our streets. Before, dismantle the police, no more jails. Now, get these people off the streets. Who's gonna take them off the streets if it's not the police? Who's gonna take them off the streets? Who's gonna take them? You? Giving babies psychological trauma that a lifetime of therapy cannot ease with no hesitation or remorse. Yeah. Your kids are going to be traumatized. Including the post was a selfie that she took showing blood pouring down the right side of her face, which you'll see the picture, but it's going to be blurred because, YouTube, they're very sensitive to this type of stuff. I'm now part of the statistics. I wasn't silent when I fought these men to save my life and my babies. I'm sorry, I'm laughing, but this is, how crazy is this? How crazy is this? Dismantling the police until you need the police. And then it's kind of like, okay, I'd rather have police than have no police. Because it's at their doorstep, right? When it was somebody else's problem, it was okay. But now that it's at her doorstep, it's a different issue. And I won't be silent now. We need to get illegal guns off the streets. I think we don't agree with that. Catch these young people who are running wild, creating chaos in our city, and hold them in custody and prosecute them. No more, no more abolish the jails, no more abolish the police, more police to catch the criminals. No. And don't forget, this is one of the leaders of the Democratic Party up there. She's finally waking, but it took a broken leg, traumatized children, and her getting robbed at gunpoint for her to realize, you know what, the police are a pretty good idea. Like this is what we got to go through, people. Look at my face. Remember me. It's your policy. It's what you've been pushing for. We didn't even remember you. We knew this was happening. We knew this was going to happen. This is the obvious thing that would happen if you want to defund the police. Remember, when you are thinking about supporting letting juveniles and young people out of custody, you know what she should say? Bail reform. When you're thinking about bail reform, remember me. Instead of holding them accountable for their actions. Minneapolis police confirmed. Remember, she wanted to dismantle the Minneapolis police. But these are the people who confirmed her carjacking. Forwell's neighborhood, in a statement, her car was later recovered, but no suspects have been arrested, right? And even if they were, they'd probably be out on bail, right? There's no bail reform. She thanked the incredible Minneapolis police for assisting her in the terrifying experience, a far cry from her attitude toward law enforcement 3 years ago, when she posted online that she and other activists were going to dismantle the police. These leftists going crazy. So this is what I mean. I'm sorry, people. I know I'm having too much fun with this, but this is great. This is just so funny. MPD has systematically failed. This is what she said before. Minneapolis Police Department has systematically failed black people and have failed us all of us. It's time to build a new infrastructure that works. So we read all this, right? And this was after George Floyd. In another post on June 2nd of that year, she applauded the Minneapolis School Board's decision to terminate the contract with the department. MPD should have no place in our children's schools, she wrote, right? She's just totally against police. Now, it's a different story. Minnesota DFL chairman Ken Martin told KSTP in a statement, "It is my sincere hope that the people who assaulted her are quickly brought to justice and face punishment commensurate with the severity of their crimes." What happened to bail reform? What happened to letting them out? What happened to, don't worry about it. It's all love and joy out here, right? No. When it happens to you, they need to be punished. When it happens to other people in the community, we got to let them go, right? Bail reform, let's not be heavy-handed. These people are hypocrites. My heart goes out to her and her family. I hope their recovery from such a horrifying experience is as swift as possible. The Post reached out to her for comment, but they haven't got it right. So what do you think? So this woman, defund the police, abolish the police, dismantle the department. She's singing a new tune. This is one thing that I want to tell everyone out there. Extreme policies don't work. And the major problem that I think we're starting to have now is that when it comes to immigration reform, when it comes to this defund the police, those extreme policies were taken up by the left-wing media and by the politicians who wanted to run for office. Because it was easy, right? It's all part of identity politics. But the reality situation is, like New York is going through with the migrant crisis, right? Bring them all in. Okay, let's send them to you. Now we got a different opinion about it. And just like with this woman, right? Let's dismantle the police department and let people just do whatever they do. When it comes to your door and you're at gunpoint and people are robbing you and terrorizing your children, you have a different opinion about it. Now she sounds like a right-wing conservative, right? She sounds like a right-wing conservative. But it's not. It's interesting because I'll say this. I don't think there's really left and right policies when it comes to this defund the police. I think there's sane policies like, yeah, we can maybe have reform the police department. Maybe we can structure it a little differently, but abolishing the police and dismantling the police department and law enforcement makes absolutely no sense. In a modern society, it just makes no sense. It absolutely makes no sense. It didn't make any sense when they said it, and it doesn't make any sense now. But sometimes you have to let people go through the struggle, right? Because some people can't just be taught or you can't tell them, hey, this is a dumb thing. They have to experience it for themselves. It's like the Matrix, right? You can't be told what the Matrix is. You got to experience for yourself. And I think this woman is a prime example of, hey, abolishing the police is ridiculous. Okay, well, you see, no, I'm going to run my career on that. And now when it comes right to your face and she's experienced what that life is like when somebody got a gun to her face and her kids are in the back seat screaming, Mommy, you're right, and her leg is broken, she's all bloodied up and they robbing her. Abolish the police doesn't seem like a pretty good idea. It sounds like a pretty idiotic idea. Tell me where I'm wrong in the comments section. You know what my name is, Nate the Lawyer. I'll see you next time. Peace.